Hey guys, it's Jim Halterman from TV Guide Magazine and TV Insider. I'm here with Chris Geere.
I give you this ring as a sign of my love.
And I give you this ring as a sign of my love.
And there you have it. You may now kiss the bride.
This whole season, I think everybody's been chomping at the bit to see what's going to happen. How is it? It's more how is it going to happen? We kind of have an idea what's going to happen, but let me ask you first of all, just the multiple timeline-ish of the show. And now, people saw in the episode 612 episode, like you have a mustache in the future and there's a lot of bouncing around. How is that for you just as an actor to kind of wrap your head around, okay, where are we now and which timeline is this? And is that a challenge at all?
I actually wrote down, I mean, probably over studious of me, but I wrote down my own timeline. I had to get the timeline together of whereabouts Philip is in terms of A, the relationship with Kate, and B, him dropping his guard a little bit, because at the back end of last season and the beginning of this season, Philip was very cold, very kind of, he was a closed book. He didn't want to talk about his feelings in any way. And then as the friendship / relationship with Kate starts to progress, then that gave me an opportunity to thaw a little, each time. And so it's Chrissy and I would talk about, right, okay, so where are we in our relationship at this point? Because we had scenes where she was still in a relationship with Toby and I was her boss. And in the same day, we would do a scene where we have been married for 5 years. So, of course, your kind of your physicality around each other changes naturally because you become more comfortable. And thankfully, because Chrissy's just absolute dream to work with, that we speak about it all the time before the scenes, and then when we go in, we know where we're at.
We also found out a lot about Philip's backstory, that he had been married and his wife, died, and it's a very sad story, which fits for This Is Us because they often like the sad stories.
I think terrified's too strong, but I've been very concerned about how Philip's going to fit in with the tone of the show, with the other characters, and also to try and get the fans on side, because everyone, including myself, huge Toby fans. So for to come in and be potentially the one that causes the problem, which the fans all thought that I was the one coming in causing the problem. Yeah. So to put that theory to rest with that episode was a real relief. So I'm thrilled with how it went, actually.
Without going into the spoiler territory, how would you describe just overall this wedding? Because I know the show, things don't always go as planned. Sometimes things get a little more dramatic or even humorous. Can you kind of give me just an overview of how this event goes?
You'd think that the focus of these wedding episodes would be the wedding. No, they're not. Of course, the focus is on how the family can operate with Rebecca's condition during such a big family event. And so there's obviously a lot of concern surrounding whether she's going to be comfortable and happy, whether she's going to be aware of anything or everything that's going on. It was a real vulnerable moment for Philip where I say it's hard to imagine that I will never impact on my future mother-in-law's memory. And that's hard for him, coming into the family, such a strong family in terms of the siblings and their strength within that group. But to come into a situation where the head of the family is not well, is an extra thing. So Philip has to be, his main role is to be there for Kate. So she has worries going on. The boys are obviously worried about her as well. Miguel has a fantastic interaction with the big three in terms of how they should change their behavior around her and what's best for her. This this season is so cleverly constructed in terms of how to deal with the inevitability of death and within a family, and how everyone's going to cope with the inevitable. And so this feels like the wedding seemed like it was the beginning of that journey.
Okay, you guys watch This Is Us every Tuesday on NBC. Chris Geere, thank you so much for the chat.
Thank you.
As always.